Hi, I'm the Wandering Newbie, and it's time for more Record Keeper. Today, that's the wrong window. Today, we have the Final Fantasy IV, technically after year's event, Blood of the Monk, which easily is very timely and could be a Shaw Brothers film title. I would watch Blood of the Monk. Alright. This fight, I saw the basis of it, and it seems pretty fake. Remember monks? Earth Monk is good now. After years, events frustrate me too, but I think for different... What the hell was that? I felt something. I felt like something jostled. Hey, Cosmic Afro. Oh, you know what it probably is? I have a bottle of Gatorade right here, and that was probably it popping because I just turned the heat up a little bit. I mean, like, both monks have gotten their buff with the Iron Fist moves, but giving Earth the heal move, which now Ice just needs it, and everybody will be on a level playing field, is very nice. And then I guess you gotta make an electric version. God, why is Monk the only skill set outside of Spellblade that hits like 4 fucking elements? And Black Mage, I guess, and Summoner. All I'm saying is that there's not a lot of skill sets that hit multiple elements, and Monk being one is really weird. Also because it's bad at it. The rush moves are kind of bad. They're solely RNG based DPS. I think you have to crit with like 2 out of the 4 hits for it to be better than the damage that you get off one of the heal moves. And on top of that, the heal moves heal you. So they're just better. This is the wrong window. The heal moves have a base potency of 3.2. Rush, I believe, Fairy Tractor says they believe, is 2.58. So yeah, you have to crit with like 2 of the hits for it to out damage it. It's wild how bad those moves are. V Prisoner says, Joseph's Command 1 still outpaces Icicle Rush, and Umaru just has Sharpshooter. The only Ice Monk that is actually screwed is Snow, until Ice Iron Fist comes out. What a smart game design decision. Yeah, okay, you know what? Real talk though. Here's something that they should invest in that would be really fucking smart. I just had this idea, and it would be super rad. Okay, so you know how they have elemental chains, and now they're doubling down on like realm chains? Hey, y'all, why don't we do something really cool and do school chains? I mean, the real answer for why don't we do school chains is that ninjas would be busted. Yeah, ninjas still don't have 6-star moves or awakenings because... just imagine. Well, like, okay, so here's actually how you do a ninja awakening and keep it pretty balanced with current awakenings. Do the increased damage, like you do, unlimited hones, and just have them always double cast. No, do make them double cast. Well, I guess, okay, they still need to break the damage cap, because otherwise then they're not worth it. Because the whole thing is that they counter 5-star enrages that way. Yeah, I guess you just don't make them double cast. See, there's a smart move there for a tractor. Just make it so that they can't like lose blank stacks or something like that. Yeah. Because then like they become way more what's the word I'm looking for? Reliable. Also, hey, Slyo. We're just talking about how a theoretical ninja awakening would work without being completely busted. Also, that's right, baby. Kane's back. You know him, you love him. He's a super interesting boss fight. It's Kane. How far am I in Dragon Quest 11? I hit Act 2. I started getting the crew together. I am like 2 storylines deep into Act 2. How was Act 1? I liked it. It's definitely a lot more stereotypical RPG Act 1. And even in like the 2 storylines I've done in Act 2, I definitely like Act 2 way more. But Act 1 is still like kind of fun. It's setting up the world. I just remembered. We had a story mode stream. Holy shit, hi! Everyone from Doc stream. Welcome. Hey. Hey, hi. If you were there for the entirety of Doc stream, you may remember that at some point I mentioned a phone game called Final Fantasy Record Keeper. Well, aren't you in luck? Witness the keeping of records. There it is. A little bit of detail into the streams I do with this, is that these lower level fights, I tend to go a little less all in, so that anybody looking up videos on these, maybe a lower level player, can find mine and be like, hey, I can actually use that strategy a little bit, instead of just relying purely on stuff that you get from the gacha. Once we get to the higher level fights, you'll see some real shit though. Well, to an extent. This week's highest level fight is a little fake. But hey, I can always jump into some harder level stuff afterwards. By the way... Oh, good. Celzar. I got that wrong again. Hustler.
Minimo for record keeper WHN.
That I've turned on. Yes, I will get it wrong every month. Was that too loud? I do need to adjust the volume on that still. Also, for some reason, it does not like capitals. I may have to find a different voice, but also I kind of like that it doesn't like capitals. Also, yeah, Grums McGruff, thank you for the follow. Alright, finally, we're out of there. And, yeah, for just a little clerical record-keeping work. So, Earthen Rebuke here is a new ability that we get this week. It is a Earth Elemental version of Fires Within, which is the 4-hit monk move that heals you, percentile. Very good. It's a nice boost to Earth monks who, frankly, have been behind. Alright. Let's get these scrubs out of here. And bring in some real abilities. Some real flair. This game is held together by hopes and dreams, as I mentioned on Doc Stream. This emulator is also held together with hopes and dreams, so sometimes the two together have a bit of a time. As you can see here, and any second, there we go. Yeah, Record Keeper is pretty incomprehensible at first, as Reverser points out, but like, it's... The systems, when you get down to it, are pretty manageable. For instance, like this right here. This is what's called a soul break. These are what you pull on the gacha for, and they're more or less limit breaks for your characters. They do some pretty cool stuff, like this one, literally, like this one's pretty parsable. It gives Shell, Protect, not in those order, and Haste, and does an attack magic buff. You have to pull limit breaks from the gacha. Yes. Which, you know, kind of sucks to an extent because it's like, hey, I like this character and, you know, I never get anything for them. Which, you know, that sucks. It does, honestly. But it also leads to these interesting scenarios of, hey, I never would have thought of using, I don't know, Irving from FF8, but I got his big super move, and it's really useful and cool, and it does a lot of damage and sets people up because he's a support. Actually, he's not a DPS. Does Irving have a good ultra? I literally can't remember. I was just trying to pull the most incomprehensible character out of my ass. So the other thing that's really cool about Record Keeper, my voice. Irving has an attack mag crusher relic. Oh, that's cool. God, slipping into terminology again. So for people who jumped in, crush is more or less a stat debuff, but it's like one of the strongest debuffs out there. So pretty good to land. And just doing some setup of the side pictures and stuff like that. Let me just position size, center vertically. There we go. Yeah, unfortunately, stuff like 14, like... 14 kind of gets not a lot of love. Even though it's insanely popular, they should do more. Like, for instance, we just got a 14 event that had Ultima Weapon in it. I could show off Ultima Weapon. Here's one of your super fights. It's Trapdoor. Oh, that's some emulator, please. Hopefully that doesn't keep happening. The emulator is fickle at times. So those are dances, they're debuffs. And God, it's kind of hard to just talk about literally everything that's going on all at once. Obviously, you know, Locke here is your treasure hunter, certainly not a thief. Celis is a spellblader. She does elemental physical attacks. Thieves tend to do things where they like steal stats or health or those kinds of things. They're very good. Also, all their abilities cast faster than normal. Black mages are black mages. They're pure DPS, and that's what Terra down here is. And they will probably handle that, which I don't want to say out loud because this, you know, I don't want to say a spoiler out loud. But they will probably handle that plot point by making it a dress record for that character. They do actually have reskins. For instance, Celis here actually has a opera costume outfit. Is it going to die before doing its move? Oh. So it's supposed to release Chimera Brain, that's why a couple of my guys had AoE attacks. I swear this game has interesting bosses. Well. Oh, that's right, we are getting... Okay, so... Again, terminology being thrown out there. Torments are... So, obviously, one of the appeals of Record Keeper is like, alright, come on, fight this Animantoys. And, you know, I'm going to bring a team suited for fighting the Animantoys made up of a bunch of different characters from different games. So I got, you know, I'm going to have Selphie, I'm going to have Kate Sith. I can't remember who else I put on this team. I think Ferris is on it. But you mix and match your Final Fantasies. Torments are, hey, try and take down this super powerful boss, but you're sort of restricted to one game. Which leads to an interesting dynamic of, alright, so how do you do that? Oops. I goofed. One moment. But yeah, so what Furry Tractor mentioned in Pseudo Torments is Torments are kind of like a higher difficulty, and actually for all intents and purposes, near the end of the game, the highest difficulty fights. Just gonna grab that real fast while we load. So they're adding these little mini events that are supposed to be not exactly hard content, but content for newer characters of like, hey, you can do this, you might be able to take on Torment. But yeah, no, this game's cool. Most of the game, I don't want to say it's easy, because that's sort of disregarding somebody's accomplishments who's been playing the game for not as long as me. But you can get there pretty easily and not having to go. Who's the character in the top left? I don't recognize her. It's Ferris. Or you mean the top left? Oh, up here in my stream thing. I thought you meant top left of my party. That's Ursula. So let's talk events. So each event that they drop weekly has a theme. Normally, you know, both a game and a character at times. This event is themed around Final Fantasy IV: The After Years. That's right, that sequel game that not a lot of people played. Ursula is Yang's daughter. Okay, is she like her dad? Ursula is so like her dad that they are literally the same character archetype in Record Keeper. They are both Earth monks. So this boss is going to be a little realer. I kind of goofed the setup for this a little bit. Maybe I'll take the damage where I can. Yeah, that's about why. Colonel Shins is strong and our friend. So I think this thing is entirely physical. I'm not exactly sure why I brought magic breakdowns to it. Oops. Like, yeah, that's one of the big draws of Record Keeper, and I'll talk about that right now, because this boss is mostly physical attacks. It does have some interrupts, which is resetting your ATB to 0. It's a really nasty status effect. But Record Keeper is really distinct on the details, in that it's stuff like, so the Onion Knight is a character that sucks really bad until you level him to 99, and then he is very good. Ah, joke's on you. I had health. Yeah, I think, like, at this point we should have more of the After Years units. I think we only have 2. We have Theodore and Ursula. They're the only After Years units we have. I'd like to see them add Kalka and Brina, actually, so that 4 has a natural dancer, for reasons that we will see later. Jesus Christ. Yeah, there are characters that, you know, everybody says, like, I want to see this person added, and they would be an absolute nightmare of red tape. You know, I think I'm just going to go for the kill. It's things like what's it called? Yeah, I'm not using Soul Breaks right now. That will change later. What's it called? There was a Kingdom Hearts collab. We have Kingdom Hearts characters in the game. Literally everything Kingdom Hearts related in this game has the text copyright Disney attached to it. Also, all those characters and items are treated way differently from anything else in the game. Also, that's another one down. as an aside for anybody, again, new viewing this, I may go silent from times, usually at the start and the end of fights. I chop these up for YouTube, and that's where I'm generally making my video cuts, so I don't want to cut myself off mid-sentence. I sometimes forget this. That's a nightmare to edit. Yeah, we will probably, unfortunately, never get Goofy and Donald because, you know, squarely owned by Disney. Let's not jump on that red tape. Alright, but here we go. Biobek, thank you for the follow. I've been saying, hey, let's get to some real fights, right? Well, let's get to some real fights. Apocalypse. So, I'm going to step back for a moment here. I'm going to grab my screenshot of my stats. So, difficulty right here. The difficulty of the map is pretty easy translation. It is literally the level of the enemy you are fighting. 99s, if you have a level 99 party, you can actually just auto. You could just leave it alone and they'll probably win. And then you get, you know, 120 for your triple pluses. Your ultimate is 140. Ultimate double plus is 180. Apocalypse plus is 220. And Apocalypse double plus is 260. I wish I had a better Apocalypse double plus. These have sometimes been really crazy fights. This week is unfortunately a little underwhelming, which means I will, you know, I'll jump into a harder fight afterwards just to show you all a good show. But yes, party is set up. What do I need for this? I need a Divine Veil. Wall is a pretty common thing that a lot of people bring to fights, mainly because it is necessary. It is a defense and resistance plus 20%, or 200%, sorry. This Divine Veil Grimoire that I just grabbed is pretty much the best version of that. It is that wall buff plus haste plus protect and shell. It is your full Monty for defensive buffs. So it allows me to focus on doing cool and interesting offensive things. Okay, Arya, I'm gonna one-up you there on woke broke crossovers. Yo, where's my The Bouncer crossover? Also, what is this fucking model right here? Is that Dark Kane? Is that Evil Kane? Yes. Okay. Sorry. I have a system for sorting my screenshots for this, and I had to make sure I wasn't fucking that up. Love that harp though. Give me that good harp. What are some other, like, really deep pools for Square properties? Obviously, you know, there's The Bouncer, there's Kingdom Hearts, but we already got that. Yo, where's the Vagrant Story crossover? Front mission. There's woke. There's extremely woke. Alright. I do have to concentrate a little bit harder on this one. A death machine. A machine of pure death. Oh, and actually before the question comes up. Oops. Well, I goofed on something. We should be fine. I am extremely not fine. That's why. Take it again from the top. Alright, second verse. Hopefully different from the first. Wasn't all this boss attacks fierce anyway? Motherfucker, I cannot remember any of my own plans. I swear to God, I'm actually very good at this game. And, very good at planning. But, I was watching Golden Sun while making this and also commentating on that video. So I don't remember half my strategies. Whoops. So, to make shit still threatening in this game, enemies use attacks that are piercing. It just pretty much punches through your defenses, completely ignores any buffs that you do. And sometimes bosses entirely do piercing attacks, which allows them to hold up. Whoop. Actually, that won't change anything. But I do actually need to change something. Mainly this right here needs to be a haste. Also perfect. Forbidden power. Unleash God. Back to the harp. Somebody drop something upstairs. Watch this cool trick. Whoop whoop. It's different now. Alright, third try. Yeah, Biomech, this game has gotten considerable quality of life improvements over the years. Record Keeper 2 years ago is a pale comparison to what it is now. In fact, after this fight, I'm going to show y'all an amazing screenshot. You'll blow your goddamn mind. Alright. Let me hold that thought though. Yes. Holding. And go. I do love that his dispel missed. Not because I avoided it, but because there was nothing to dispel. Oh, I love Holy Knight Kane. He is such a dorko. Major KO resist. Whatever. So, the boss does instant death. And, I spect for it. Sometimes the game decides, that 1% chance, though. You know, RNG affects any game. It's fine, this guy isn't going to be around too much longer. Does have a nasty move. Yeah, see, that's what's supposed to happen. Whack. Alright, we're almost to some cool shit, though. That good stuff. So soul breaks are really cool looking. If I hadn't gotten that across yet. Also, about that. Both of those soul breaks did things other than looking cool. For instance, Vaughn's was an AoE attack defense down, whereas Noctis gave everybody an instant cast for the turn. Both very potent effects that you want. Oh, Kane extremely ate shit and was on the ground. Okay, and here's a boss fight that should be hard, but I think they fudged the numbers somewhere. So look at all this stuff that this boss does. It exists. Oh yeah, one of Ida's soul breaks from 14. Where she stands still and does Forbidden Chakra 5 times and then destroys somebody. The touches in this game are really good. And they're just kind of hidden behind soul breaks. But there's some real solid touches. Whoop, too far. Oh, right, the early screenshot. Hold up. I'll put this over stats, because that'll be an easy thing to replace. What did I call those things? Maybe if I type in R on? Yeah, so this is what the old status screen used to look like. So just compare those and look at how much more information it gives you now. Look at how ugly that looks. It looks so bad. Also, you can tell how old that screenshot is because look at how many fucking 4-star abilities I have. Not one 5-star to be seen. Let me grab the stats. What did I need for this? I think I needed... There, actually. Oh, no. Yes. This would be screenshot 12. And I'm just going to get this out of the way. So I make sure that is situated and proper again. Whoops, that's not right. Position, size, center, vertically. There we go. Was tele-losing stats a thing? I haven't played 4 in ages. Yeah, well, in 4, yes. Not in Record Keeper. I can tell you, though, what is extremely a thing in Record Keeper is tele-eating shit after casting a Soul Break. A lot of his Soul Breaks doom him in particular. He has a US, like, alright, he has an Ultra, which is just a very high level Soul Break. That is, he deals very high damage for about 15 seconds. And then at the end of those 15 seconds, he casts Meteor and then dies. Now, mind you, that Meteor can do 100,000 damage. It's very powerful. But it's still great. Oh yeah, Kamari's Arcane, which is a Soul Break that has the potential to do 300,000 damage. That kills him because it's him casting Explosion. Also, yes, as chat pointed out, one of the biggest problems with 4 is that, like, they do all these weird climactic deaths, and so many of them do not stick. What was my move here? Brain, please process. Brain is working. Brain has reached a conclusion. So these are ultimate double plus fights. These are pretty much the closest you'll see me to going completely all out outside of really stupid hard fights. So that is a magic resistance buff This is, or magic mind buff. This is a magic attack buff. And this is a pure magic buff. All those stack because they buff different stat combinations. So right now, my party has a ridiculous amount of magic. And you're about to see summons go buck wild. The bombs try and keep themselves alive. They cannot outpace me. I swear to God, ultimate apocalypse fights are usually not this easy. Oh, and Alpha Nod's just gonna double cast because of things I've done, and that's a fight. Good game. There's a reason I wanted to show you newer viewers a Torment fight, because, that fight existed. God, yeah, the one Meliadol fight that was supposed to be hard, and they gave her less than 100,000 HP in a game where overstrikes exist that can do more than that. Every now and then we just get these really hard, like, high difficulty fights that are not tuned. And it's whack. But before I jump into those Neo Torments, just to keep all of my stuff together for video editing purposes, we are going to jump into the Ultimate Double Plus and the Apocalypse Double Plus again, because you may notice this special mission now available thing right here. And I kind of scroll down through it briefly. So, for older players who maybe have a bit too much of an easy time with this, they have special challenges. So, beat this map with only Final Fantasy IV characters, including Ursula and Yang. And a similar thing to that exists for the Apocalypse Double Plus, which is it's only use Final Fantasy IV characters. No restrictions on characters that you can use, which is why these two parties right here exist. New spells? What new spells? I'm actually kind of... Explain yourself. Cropping, save as Monk 8, I think is the numbering scheme. Yes, okay, cool. Ooh, I should have given Rose a fast cast. This might end up being a problem for me, but we will see. I'm using stronger weapons, so he'll probably go down faster. I hold back a little less on these Sid missions. By the way, anybody who got hosted over from Doc in the chat, I'm going to show off Ultima weapon from 14. But if any of you have a favorite Final Fantasy, throw it out there, and I'll jump into that torment as well. Sorry, brain still needs to process every now and then. Ooh, tactics is a good call. My tactics team is quite powerful. 9, also good. Yeah, I could do a 9. Tactics is actually my best. One of, if not actually my best, realm. Wow. X is Unalesca. That's a really rough one because, well, she has Megadeth. Yeah. I think Tactics in 9 might be good to jump into. I have some good, dumb stuff to show off. Oofa! There's that stun. There's that stun extremely happening. And I do have Orlando's USB. And yeah, 10 had something called Megadeth that Unalesca used, which was AoE instant death. The way that they translate it, usually in Record Keeper, and I actually kind of like this. It's very rough in the actual execution, but it's still kind of cute. So generally in Record Keeper, the way they translate Megadeth is the snakes still come out, bite your party, and this usually does a what's called sap as a status effect, which what that does is it your character slowly loses HP over time. It's usually a nothing status effect, so in the instance of Unalesca, when she uses it, it's like, fucking whatever, we don't care, right? So in Neo Torment, she doesn't sap your party. Oh, does she still sap it? It's been a while since I did that. I couldn't actually remember. Yeah, rather it kills slots 1 and 5. Anyway. Fight done. Let's move to a slightly more interesting Apocalypse. Turtle status, punched. And like, so let's talk a little bit about the actual gacha of Record Keeper, because, you know, it is one of those games. Those exist. So here's your currency right here. I am very, very good at saving. You usually don't see people with that much currency, but they, you know, the first couple fights of this, I think up to, up to the EX triple, which you can easily, like, if you start playing today, do maybe a draw or two, and you could probably be clearing EX triple pluses in like a week. Like, that's how much the power creep is at this point. And yeah, as people have pointed out, you get 2 to 3 a day, so in about 2 weeks, if you're saving properly, you can probably do a pull. Like, that's how fast it gives you stuff. On top of the fact that every one of the many, many realm dungeons, which are just, hey, do this fight from Final Fantasy, which I think, last time we clocked in on that, there's like 1,000. Each one of those gives you 1 mithril. What's my party for this? Kane, Rydia, Golbez. Alright. I need something that gives me both a magic and attack buff. Hey, that'll do. I'll talk about this very, very briefly. These little cool pogules, those little thingoids that you're going to be seeing in my stats breakdown pretty quickly here. They're Magicite, which are a whole damn thing. Hey, Katsumi. Welcome. We're just about wrapping up the event, but we have some new viewers in here that got hosted over by Doc. So I'm probably going to jump into a couple torments to show them how rad this game gets at the higher level. So these are what I'm talking about. These things right down here. Magicite are just ways to further boost your party. They give party-wide buffs, such as like 15% attack buff and stuff like that. You'll note, I haven't been using them up to this point. And somehow I can always time a stream to an entire cup of coffee. Ah, yes, that's the other thing about Magicites, is that the main one, the one in the front slot, can actually be summoned, and they do cool things. Enkidu here actually does White Wind, which heals your party. And it's instant cast. It's very useful for higher end fights. That coffee in a thermos? Nah, it's in a mug. It's a little lukewarm at this point, but I live. Why does this keep happening? This happened last week too. Hello, game. Emulator. Emulator. Emulator having a time. Oh, did I do the bad where I didn't remove soul breaks again? No, I did do that. I distinctly know I did that. Alright. I'm gonna kill the emulator. Or kill the app and restart it. Oh, also the other thing, just to talk about, aside from like the game actually being pretty competent and interesting at times, it has a story mode. And like an actual story mode. Where it is the self-insert playable character that you name at the start of the game, Tyro, jumping into various moments in Final Fantasy games and being like self-inserted in. It's cute, and they have some good moments. Oh, and yeah, they do. There's great bits in there. Like we recently had Tactics. The entirety of Tactics is isometric. There we go. Okay. Punch. Loading boss. Preparing to kick ass. Ass detected. So here's the fun thing that makes this, you know, challenge mission here a little bit more harder, you heard me, than previous ones. Hey, Final Fantasy IV doesn't have a dancer. I literally cannot debuff these boys. 1 bomb, 6 bombs, ice cube warning. So instead of actually trying to debuff them all, hey, he's a bard. Bards have this really rad ability where they can make casters attack, cast their spells faster. It is slightly open to abuse. And yes, what's going on right up here on the top of the screen is what's called a chain. If you look at the upper left, you can see that kind of like bright shiny icon is the holy chain. If I keep using holy abilities, they will do considerably more and more damage as the fight goes on. It only lasts for about 15 seconds though, so you have to make the best of it while you can. Oh lord. Edward, stay with me. One down. One more down. Just need to hit Kane. Come on, Kane. Alright. Damn. I was hoping I could slip an Enkidu in there. Yeah! Again, I wish we had a slightly harder one of those this week, so that I could show off a little bit more, but hey, that's what Torments are for. As an aside, don't touch that dial. I am going to do those Torments, but I'm going to do an outro for this video that I'm recording right now, just so I have an easier chopping up the video later. Just makes my job a little easier. Ooh, neat. Okay, that was it for the After Years event. Next week we have both our first 11 event in a really long time, and our 11 Torment is going to make its debut, which I'm sitting here thinking, like, what the heck do I even have for 11? So, that's going to be interesting. I'll see you then. Alright. If I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this right. Oh, I actually have to make some changes to this party a little bit too, don't I? Let's get to that real fast. Yep, yeah, me and V-Prisoner do a little bit of banner talk at the end. By the way, these are all that are in there right now. We have Type 0 against Suzaku. 3 against the Aramon. 9 is Melty Gemini. 10 is Unalesca. 14 is Ultima Weapon. 15 is One Eye. I don't know its actual name. 13 is Taharka. I think that's their name. 4 is Calcabrina. 8 is the zombie man, who I also can't remember his name. Oh geez, what is this boss in 6? I also Rexol. There we go, got it. Genova Synthesis, Zodiark, Possessed Gilgamesh, and Cuchulaeon. And, you know, let's start, a little easy. Let's lean into this. Not go too fast. So, one of the major gimmicks of these Neo Torment fights is that they're highly scripted. Ridiculously so. So category. So once you learn that pattern, it's easier to execute upon it. I haven't done tactics for maybe about 4 months, so that's going to work out perfectly. Alright, now let's see here. I need to make some minor adjustments to this team. Very small. Mainly because that. I seem to have packed some things away in the meantime. Let's see. Resist element. Poison. Now, one of those that we got is dark and poison. That would be the best right there. And what are you? Poison and poison element. Poison, poison element. Poison and sap. Is there anything else? Absolutely not. Alright, whatever. Let's keep this ball rolling. Alright, Light Warriors guys. That's fine. Solid. Also fine. There's a change. Wait, hold up. Raz, do you... You do not. Would it be appropriate to explain record diving? Hey, guess what I need to go do? Record diving on paper is fairly simple. It is none too complex. Also, hey, this is your inventory screen. You can literally change the music on it. It's great. So Record Spheres is fairly simple. It is a way to further expand upon level 99 characters. You spend a currency to give them stat boosts, and if you spend a lot of that currency, and I mean a pretty hefty amount, you can actually give them really unique passives, such as some characters get double cast and things like that. I'll show Raz's, since I'm going to jump into his very briefly. You also unlock some abilities for them by doing this. Here we go, Raz. So, there's level 1. These use 3-star motes, and you can see it's like 1 attack, 1 defense, some HP. Level 2, which is like some pretty significant buffs on there, and also level 2s generally have some really cool passives, like bonus damage wielding katana, bonus damage wielding swords. And then there's Legend, which we'll jump into that very briefly. Again, they give you like stat boosts, but just very much more significant. Things like paralysis and support ability boosts. Same thing from this. And then the final capstone thing is like increases duration of stat buffs. All very, very handy. Raz was recently given access to 5-star knight abilities. This is a thing that you can do on some characters if they have 5-star abilities and 6-star exists for them. As long as some edge cases, which are really stupid and I hate, you can unlock 6-star abilities on them. But enough joking around. Alright, so that's all set up and fine. Oh yeah, the Acolyte records are a pretty nice thing. It's a nice little like sort of quest system that as you clear it, they will give you some free pools and stuff like that. Just a nice way to get new players off the ground and moving. Very handy. Alright, just replace Shout with Battle Cry. Look, we get upgrades. And that's what is nice about the Torments, is that you get little upgrades and it incentivizes you to come back. I am never using Heart's Lament, so let's just remove that right off of there. Make my life a little easier. Pardon me. Knight's Combo, that's fine. Loyal Blade is also good, but I think I'm going to slide Divine Ruination in there as well. Oh, by the way, one of the special banners that's in the Acolyte records will always give you that that wall thing I was talking about before, like the original version of it, which is very nice because it's kind of needed. Okay. Gonna snag that. This is pretty much exactly up to speed down here on the bottom. Nothing has changed there. I still haven't done Holy Magicite yet. Alright. Crop, file, save as. Tor to OT. Eight. What? Oh, can't save here. Alright, get ready because you're gonna see some real shit go down. As I chug the last of my coffee and become more powerful than you could ever imagine. Oh, a neat little thing with these Neo Torments, obviously to make them more viable, to just go in with a full what we call realm synergy team, because you know you get a little boost if you bring somebody from the realm into the fight. Everybody naturally has wall. There's no need to slot in a wall or a wall type character at all. So you may notice the little blinking time there. These are speed runs. Oh, right. There we go. Party. Stats. And good. And away we go. I don't actually need to do pauses for this. We're just gonna fucking go at this. Alright, I gotta remember the flow for this fight. I know he has scripted slows, and that's why I have the Hastagas. Oh, also, right, he does that. How could I forget? How foolish of me. Where's the music? It's there, it's just mad quiet. So don't worry, Orlando down there is revving up. Orlando is extremely a, there's the slow. He is extremely a whirlwind tour. It just takes him a little bit to get going. They're fine. Oh. Bad noise. Bad ear feel. It's time. Look at him go. Look at that aura. Oh yes, the auras, the torments have a special chain, which is the realm chain, which does more damage the more hits that people from that realm hit. Alright, so what did that do? Well, Orlando now has massively buffed damage, and always casts twice every time. But he uses 2 ability uses each time. Oh, also, yes, he gets 100% crit rate. That's right. How could I forget? It's alright. I do not have his LMR, sadly. I think I missed the second slow. I think I skipped it. Am I allowed to do that? I mean, Orlando is. He just does that much damage. Oh! Big hits. They're fine, everyone. See? He's fine. Well, I won't be breaking any records here, but I've been half explaining, and also it's been a bit. Also, I gotta finish this stylishly. That's right, Guardbringer. Nope. Just kidding, it's Sword Saint. Raz actually has that as a thing. Like, hold up. Let me adjust one or two things real fast. I can show that aspect of this game off. So, welcome to the question mark difficulty, which is literally twice as powerful as that one that we just fought. Literally. Not even kidding. The guy I just killed, 1 million HP. This one, 2 million HP. So I'm just going to save this party setup real fast under here, since we did make some slight changes. Right there. Replace. So oh, that's not what I meant to hit. There we go. So yeah, that's what we were talking about. There's just different outfits for people. I think in Tactics, Raz and Delita have other outfits as well. Delita has the gold armor Chapter 2 outfit. Alright, so I'm going to get my ass pretty beat up by this. We're going to see a lot more of this, what this fight does. How many fights do I want to show off? I'm going to do this and then 9. And then we can hop into our banner reviewing. Because I think everybody wants to see their favorite good boy from 9. Also, look how much crazier the aura is on the question mark difficulty. I can't turn it off. I literally can't. I was doing the pause in there for a video cut. I cannot turn it off. It's a good habit to get into, to not be able to turn it off. Ha! Notice the difference in damage being done already. Perfect timing, and there we go. The full break here that Raz is about to use lowers all stats. Just very handy to get off on most bosses, as having all their stats lowered means that they're doing less damage. And let's just fix all that damage that we've been dealt. Yeah, so look how much that bar is really not moving. Yes. Perfecto. We can lessen the damage a little bit with this, and also, Agrius will start dealing more damage, which is always wanted. Oh, I am extremely not going to clear this. The question is, how far do I get? So that's a last stand. What that is it's a status effect that is more or less guts. If you're brought down to 0 HP from a damaging attack, then you're not. You're alive, actually. Yes, guts. In fact, in Japan, it was called guts. Alright, I'm going to bust out a Magicite here. As we spoke about, as I talked about earlier, they're handy little buffs that you can get. This is actually going to give me regen, which is going to purge that poison that we have, and also allow me to block one status effect. Speaking of which, okay, that didn't actually eat it. Hey, anybody who knows this fight properly, which by the way, that Doom counter that everybody just got in the second and fourth row, that means we're in phase 2. That is the phase change noter. Anybody in chat who knows this, what turn in phase 2 does he cast the slow? Slow in 2 moves at about 30 seconds. Got it. Yep, that's the chain in effect. We have almost 200% plus damage at this point. Oh, we were 1 move off. That's fine. Ovelia almost had full bar, so I just cast that right now. And rip my regen. I missed the piss. Ah! Fuck your poison. Ah, piss. Everybody's fine right now. Let's hold off. We're getting there. We might actually hit 50%. So, this is a burst. Bursts give the caster 20% boosted stats in all categories, but also, that one in particular, made him take more damage from holy attacks, which, guess what the tactics team really likes to use? Oh shit. Phase 3, baby. Slow is right after Unholy Darkness. Got it. Yeah, I think we got there. Big punch. Well, unfortunately, Orlando is now completely tapped. He is more or less going to be casting his USB. I should bring his BSB with him so he can use something afterwards. No, I say. Let this party alone. Hey Orlando, can you just, for me, you know, the needful? Well, I don't have a USB. Bye, the rest of this party. Also, bye, top and bottom row. And T-minus 3 seconds. Well, we have to double cast, but... And there they go. And there goes the rest of them. No, right! I defy. The church will know the truth. Or I guess the people will know the truth about the church. Gravity, he says. I care not for your gravity. Alright, that's all she wrote. Ba-ba-da-ba-ba-ba-da. You did it! And yeah, because I beat that 60%, I actually got some nice bonuses out of this. Not to mention the first time rewards, which is, you know, a goodie, and some extra rubies. Rubies are how you unlock some 6-star abilities. Yeah, 50% is a clear. The question marks are extremely, like, the reason they're called whale difficulty is they're not actually supposed to be beaten that easily. There's something that you're supposed to keep coming back to every now and then. Now I believe we had a request for 9. For number 9. Now, my number 9 team, not quite as strong. And let's see if there's any small adjustments I can make. Number 9 with extra dip. Also, like, one of the other aspects of this is, what the fuck was my strategy for this? I really do not remember. Oh, too far. Way too far. Way too far. There we go. This looks to have not changed that much. Except, you. We got another one of those poison and dark on you. Yeah, that was about right. I'm not going to grab different pictures for those because they're barely different, honestly. But yeah, as you saw with the, wow, I really just fucking didn't make it last time, didn't I? Whack. Whack. Wiggity whack. As you saw with the Tactics Torment, it's a lot of knowing what moves are coming. For instance, Slido saying like, "Hey, the slow's coming in 2 moves." And it's like, all right, I gotta hold off on Olivia. She needs to be able to cast that haste when it needs it. All right. Again, I can't turn it off. I can't turn it off. I have to do like the pause for video cut and then jump in and fucking like, what am I doing? No, just jump in there. I'm stupid. Alright, okay, debuff. That. Yes. 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 Sorry, I'm having a brain moment. Vivi Unleashed. Power Boy. Impressive Tot. Okay. Right. That was the thing I needed to do. Again, I haven't done this for a bit, so kind of forget the moves. Alright, you do need to get the Shoga up. You do cast Voltac. You do cast Haste. You need to Magic Breakdown. Yeah, it's things like knowing I don't actually have to heal Vivi. Vivi is going to hit low enough health that he survives, and then is going to go super mode. You're going to heal. You're going to do that. You're going to do that. I need to break this boss, or else it's just not good. Ribbons, thank you for the follow. Sorry, I actually had to pause to thank that because I did not have a chance to look and do it normally. Get that quick heal in right there. That should be good. Nope, she's dead. Yep, okay. So, I need to heal Garnet after the first hit. And then I think we can stabilize. I don't remember this guy from F9. He's there. It's the two twins fused together. It's right after Garnet gets her summon stolen. And as an aside, because I get this question asked a lot, why is Newbie pausing every now and then? That is literally for my brain to process. There is no wait in Record Keeper unless an ability is going off like this right here. So I need to actually pause the game so I can look at characters and be like, okay, who's up? You're up first? Alright, we now know that needs to go to Garnet. Who's up? You're up. Okay, you can steal. Bond. Voltac. Full break. And we're off to the races. Queen does have a trance mode. It's really interesting. They instantly get a bar of break meter. My brain farted something fierce right there for a second. It's time to pop off. And hopefully survive. Well, I love Queena. Well, now we know that next time I need to heal Queena. There was health here. So Garnet's USB there is super interesting. She is passively casting Ramu. What is that move? Is that just damage? Or is that a slow? Is that a slow? Or is that just damage? It seems like that's just damage. Haste the spell. Okay, that's what it was. I knew it was something. By the way, Anger Boy! Oh right, I gave him Magic Blink. Joy, Venus. Fuck. Piss. So I'm kind of remembering how this went down last time. Ah, I see you're dispelling my haste, but what if? Oh, come on, you dick. Just get there. Ah. Unless it's a targeted move, I think that's all she wrote. It's a hollow victory. I gotta look at a timer real fast. Just give me a hot second here. I'm going in again. You cannot stop me. Fucking 97%. I don't even buy that. That was such a fucking magic pixel. Alright. There's just mainly a couple things that were just like completely fell off, and that's the main fact of it. I stopped brain farting, something fierce. Well, not only did Queen die mean no attack buff, but Queen dying meant the debuffs were off. That's why I started taking so much damage. I think I just fucked up again. I think that needed to go to Queena. Yeah. Alright. Alright. Yeah. Hey Caldwell, things are happening. Math is occurring. Oh, excuse me. My brain thinks. My meat parts are working overtime. How hard have I been beating my head into this fight? Not too much. I jumped in here on request, and we're about to see how this pays off. Mississippi 2, Mississippi 3, go. That's not what I wanted to do. Went too fast. Oh, Queen is dead. I forgot how fast that goes off. And we'll see how this plays out. It could be fine. No. Fuck. Brain fart. Go. Yeah, that's why I really like Thieves. The self-healing is very big and very real. Alright. Feeling better about this. We're going to see just how well we pop off in about a second here. If that pause means that the rest of the party dies, that's not going to be that helpful. I don't know if you can hear me clicking. Hey! Got there. Thinking. Go. Thinking again. Go. I was gonna toss out some fucking magic blinks. I'm sorry, what? Did I have... I had unicorn up by this point, didn't I? Shit. Alright, I gotta take one more attempt at this. Now that we know that this strategy kind of works. Mainly because I do have a schedule for something that I gotta keep to. But if I get past the queen, just like one more time past the queen of maneuver, now that we're learning. Oofa though. Oofa doofa. And that's why we Thunder God. Okay. Fuck off. Yeah, fuck that blind. Oh, that sucks. That's bad. Well. This is where we lose Garnet. And possibly Vivi as well. Well, thank you, Unicorn. Yep, there goes Vivi. And probably Garnet. Nope, okay. No, it's happening again. Yeah, Queena! Yeah! Universal, thank you for the bits. For winner. Oh shit, champion too. That feels good. Look at that. Look at that. Give me the goodies. Cadwell, thank you for the sub. 5 months. Caldwell. Still recovering a little bit.
Congrates.
The secret technique, if you ever put on text-to-speech, never use an English voice. It's always way better. Look at that. That's glorious right there. What? Have we gotten any new abilities, like, lately? I'm gonna take a peek at that real quick, and, while I'm doing that, I'm gonna open up Discord. Hitting Discord has caused problems. There we go. Alright, Burnt Offering, Fire Torched are still the ones. They come with 11. We'll get the ice abilities. Fuck yeah, I'll finally get Cold Offering. And, yeah, that, I'll probably dive, what's his face with that? Laguna. Alright, it's banner time. Hey.
Yo, what's up?
I don't know, I'm feeling pretty alright.
Yeah. I was like, the screen just like freeze frames on Marcus. Yep, that's Marcus. And you're probably wondering how he got here.
God, thieves are so good.
I know.
People are like, why do you love thieves so much? It's like, they never die.
They just get up to stupid shit like this. Alright, so for the folks who have thankfully stayed on, and by the way, thanks a lot for that.
Yeah.
We get to introduce you to the gacha component of this game.
I am just loading up the banners real fast. Just so that when we get to them.
So also, please feel free to ask us any questions about the stuff that you might see on this banner, and we will do our best to translate ridiculous meta bullshit into comprehensible terms.
Mm-hmm. Just as with most things in Nox, it takes a little bit to load up the banner for the first time. I should start doing these at the start of streams.
A little bit, a century, whatever.
So, first up is an Arcane for Ursula. So, Arcanes we talked about before. They are either 20 small hits and 1 big hit, or 3 big hits. All of the big hits will break the damage cap, so each of these has the potential to do 300,000 damage.
Yeah, they cost 3 bars out of 6 and can only be used once per fight.
Yes. Ursula is a earth damage boosting fist. I didn't talk about this at all. Some weapons and armor can boost damage or resistances. It is a 20% boost to damage. I think a 10% reduction with damage taken if they reduce damage.
Yeah, element boosting equipment is highly sought after because that's the sort of shit that sticks around after attack and magic buffs sort of hit soft cap.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, very nice to have.
And all in all, it's a good fist. It's a good soul break. I like it.
Yeah, works real nice for Ursula.
Mm-hmm. And speaking of which, weird. The same exact thing for Yang, except his only does earth, doesn't do any fire.
Yeah, Ursula's weird in that she just covers earth and fire a little bit, but they're both like earth,
they're
straight up.
Yeah, they're both earth monks. Okay, this is where shit gets wild. Ultras. So, 10 physical earth or fire, or end, to 1 enemy in Earth, which means it's a boost to Earth damage, and enter Ladle of Love mode. Temporarily reduces the user's actions and causes the user's critical hits to trigger a follow-up Ladle Lash, dealing 5 physical, earth, fire, non-elemental to one enemy. This seems like a copy of what's-his-face's Zell's.
Yeah, let me check real quick. Yes, that doubles the casting speed of the user's actions. I try to clarify wherever possible because...
Oh, Ladle, right, I'm sorry. I literally knew what that was, and my brain's gone a little bit.
It's cool. We all know where it went. Congrats on that victory again, by the way, for the 1000th time. But yeah, this is a great way for her to really get into that earth damage. She can use monk abilities, and monk is very good at that stuff.
This is actually better than Zell's. Zell's doesn't get the reduced casting time, and also she hits 2 elements. I guess the trade-off there is that Zell's intro hits 12 times and is instant cast.
Yeah. Like, even though this is very clearly skewed towards earth,
it hits
can
fire.
Very easily be used for fire. Yeah.
Hold on, question in chat. Has Yang had a soul break involved him getting hit with a pan? Yes. It might actually be on this banner, or on the next one, but yes, it exists in the game.
By the way, server's kind of shitty.
Oh, is it? Am I breaking up? Okay, hold up.
Yeah, a little bit.
Let me switch.
Just every now and then.
Okay, and 1 second. Alright, let me get this window back up. Okay, 10 physical lightning to one enemy, briefly lower their attack and magic a very large amount, so that's an attack mag crush. Temporarily
70%.
reduce... Yeah, 70%. Temporarily reduce the delay of the user's actions and cause the user's lightning abilities to trigger a follow-up Old Man's Hammer, dealing 4 physical lightning, non-elemental, to one enemy. So weirdly, he's obviously leaning towards the lightning machinist sort of stuff with a light. Is this a hammer? Yeah, sledgehammer.
Yeah, it's a hammer.
With a lightning boosting hammer, and kind of isn't going the Imperial route, which you don't see too many machinists going.
It's a very strange fit for him because they're trying to because Sid is been primarily support, as in using damage dealing debuffs on enemies. So this is kind of a mix of everything. Gives him plenty of damage, gives him a very powerful debuff to the enemy's offense, and then also just lets him have a chaser and doubles his casting speed on top of it. So it's just a mix of everything.
Yeah, and all in all, for what the job it's trying to achieve, yeah, it's good. The one thing it doesn't have is an enlightening, which I would frankly want. And I guess the other thing is that although it's a crush, it does hit a pretty easily accessible break. But for the torment, there are no dancers in realm, so perfect for that.
Yeah. That's the thing that Newbie has mentioned that you want to watch out for. The dance enfeebling jitterbug hits this exact same debuff, and in Record Keeper, if debuffs or buffs are of the exact same type, they cancel each other out.
Furry actually brings up in chat that his dive is a 30% chance to lightning imperil. So there you go. That's where his imperil is at. That's where it lives. It's in the dive.
Yeah, and this comes from lightning abilities, so it very clearly wants you to be using Machinist, which has access to lightning.
Okay, I'm going to thank this follow, but I believe that is a very fancy way of typing Fimbulvinter, which is the Norse Endless Winter. That's really good.
Nice.
Anyway, here we have Telos Professor Rowe. We actually talked about this earlier on the stream. Reduce delay of magic actions for all allies for 2 turns. Temporarily infused with Earth. Enter Desperate Meteor mode. Oh shit! Right, they patched this. The whole fucking description is here now. Oh, thank Christ.
Yeah, that's right. So we don't have to worry about that shit. That's the other thing too, by the way, for our newer viewers. Ultras have like gigantic walls of text because they're basically just like a ton of utility in a soul break. And they add a lot of variety to how you can use that character. So yeah.
Anyway, enter Desperate Meteor mode. In Desperate Meteor mode, causes the user's black magic abilities to trigger twice, which means he uses 2 casts. When Desperate Meteor mode ends, trigger Legendary Magic, dealing magic damage to one target, non-elemental, causing the user to instantly KO themselves.
Yeah.
It's not a hungry cast?
It's not a hungry cast. That means it's just straight up double cast, no extra use required. So this is something that you use right at the finish line when you're sure that he's going to be able to clinch it. And Tella is primarily magic support. He buffs magic teams and stuff a lot. So this one is just like, you better make sure that Tella can get you across the finish line.
Mm-hmm. I believe the EX mode, this actually matters for this, lasts about 15 seconds, and even if you recast it, it's technically ending the mode, so even if you cast the Soul Break again, then he dies.
Yeah, just maybe don't do that. Also, I'm gonna make sure I know what type of damage Legendary Black Magic.
Cosmic Afro, Last Stand won't work. It is casting instant KO on him, which all Last Stand does is if you're reduced to 0 HP, it heals you back. If you are instant KO'd, Last Stand doesn't trigger. However, if you have a re-raise on him, that should work.
Yeah. So just to clarify on Meteor, it's non-elemental because it is 35% of the damage dealt with Earth attacks during the status. Just flat.
Weird that they just want to make it Earth damage as well. Oh, I see, but it's just 35% of the damage that you deal, so yeah, alright.
Yeah, and also just like, it's one hit, so not that big of a deal.
Yeah, I mean, you can say Schizo only 15 seconds, but like, most USBs are only 15 seconds. Also, 15 seconds is a really long time in Record Keeper.
Yeah, animations pause the timer, or lots of things pause the timer. You're getting a lot of mileage out of those 15 seconds, so this thing is powerful as all hell. Just make sure that you have what it takes to get to the end of the fight before it runs out.
Mm-hmm. Moving on, we have King Sword, which is, I can't remember if this one's new or old. This is new. This is his
new.
Yeah, it's his Brave. So Brave is well, we'll get there in a moment. So the entrance deals 10 physical holy, grants Last Stand to all allies, temporarily increases users' knight abilities by 30%, and enter Brave mode. Starting with a level 2 Brave. So Braves are an interesting bit of USB in which you build up level, and as you cash in that level, you do different things. So at level 0, it is a single hit. Level 1, it is 3 hits, and give everybody a 1000 HP shield. At 2, it is 5 with a 2k HP shield. At 3, it is 7 hits with a 4k HP shield. Which kind of bounces the way that Cecil works in that he wants to defend but also attack.
Yeah, so instead of just like taking damage for everybody, he just like tries to offset everybody's damage with HP and shields. HP shield specifically is maybe a better term for it is HP reserve.
Or HP stock. I really should start saying stock.
Yeah, just like stock, reserve, those sorts of things. It's just like residual HP that kicks in when you take damage.
Yeah. Also, if you get that stock and you're already missing a bunch of HP, it automatically refills. So if everybody's almost dead and you use that level 3, it will automatically heal everybody for 4k.
Like, this thing is stupidly good at keeping you up and running.
Yes, it is very useful.
Bear in mind, too, that Brave commands use up all of their charges, because this is a charger. So the command that you're looking at, Searchlight, that's a spender.
Mm-hmm. Glints are a interesting bit of Soul Break. They only use 1 meter. They're instant. And they generally do sort of somewhere in between, like, a very... like, they're a little less than a full bar's effect, but they're still pretty useful. Temporarily, so for instance, Assert Dominance is a temporarily charged you hold up. Temporarily change the user's crit hit chance based on their Warlord mode level up to 3 ranks. grant them 1 level of Warlord mode, and reduce the delay of the user's actions for 2 turns. If the user already has Warlord mode, increase the level by 1. So it really just gives her crit chance boost, and reduces her actions for 2 turns, which is about enough time to build enough meter to cast this again.
Yeah, so most of this is just like, when it says reduce delay on glints, it is usually triple the casting speed. And Warlord mode is up to 3 ranks because for glints, you can only use them up to 3 times in a fight. And they're all instant casts, so you just need to make sure you know when to apply these glints, and this one is just more of a, hey, I can just like gradually stack this up and get a really big crit rate off of it.
Schizo actually brings up an interesting question that I don't know if I have the answer to it. Does this stack with Onion Knight?
Let me check real quick. It might just be a uniquely identified status.
Yeah, I want to say it's uniquely identified status, but the way it says change the crit rate mattering on the level, like, that's a weird wording, right?
Yeah, and Lear's not picking up anything. Well, fuck me.
I'd say on my... Okay. Furry Tractor says it does stack. Okay.
Good.
Yeah, my gut says that it's the Warlord mode that gives you the crit.
Stacks are really weird in this game.
Yeah.
If it's uniquely... if it's a unique ID, then chances are it probably stacks.
Anyway. It's good. It gives her some crit fix, which, combos really well with her USB.
Monks love crit fix.
It sets your crit rate to 50, 75, and 100%. Whack. That's a lot.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Okay. Concentration for Yang. This is sort of your typical glint. Gives you Empowered Infusion, which is in element, except you can stack it and make it better. And reduce delay of the user's actions for 2 turns. Just solid. Just a solid glint.
Yeah, when we say an element, we basically mean the character gains an aura that boosts his damage in a given element. And this glint just gives Yang the ability to in elements on top of each other up to 3 times.
I'm going to change the server settings again. You kind of cut out for a second there.
Got a coach.
Alright. Hopefully that's better. I'm going to move this window over here so I can keep an eye on that. Whoops,
Weird,
that's not... That's not how I wanted that. There we go. Okay. Moving on.
Yep.
Saintly Force. This one's returning for sure. This is an in-element, but not an empowered in-element, of Holy to Cecil, and give everybody a 2k heal.
Yeah, so in exchange for being able to stack the Holy boosting damage, he gives everybody 2,000 reserve HP stock. That's very nice. Gives him a good boost in damage and also keeps the party up and running.
Again, Cecil's never going to be your biggest hitter, but he is going to keep your party alive.
Yeah, he's all about defense.
Moving on.
Legend Materials.
Filial Devotion, I'm going to go with.
Yeah, Legend
Earth.
Materials are passives that you can equip on your character. Each character, most characters, get 2 that they just unlock on their own. The rest come from relics.
Yeah, if you look onto the left side there, on my Final Fantasy IX team, that's that column that most people is empty, but Vivi has. That's how Vivi went trance at the one point when he was almost dead. That's what he gets for diving. And this is one that you get for pulling on the gacha. And it's an in Earth. Just start the battle in Earth. That will boost our Earth damage for 30 seconds, and just completely solid. You like to see those on element people.
Yeah, it's a great way to just ramp into their soul breaks.
Sid gets a start in Lightning, which, yep, that...
Again, good.
Yeah. Can't really say more about that.
You're going to see this a lot with these types of Legend
Tell
Materials.
us in Earth, fine.
Good.
Hey,
Okay,
okay, here we go. Significantly
20%
more
more
damage
damage
with monk abilities when a fist is equipped. So, you get to see these sometimes. They are sort of weird conditional things. Have this weapon equipped, do more damage with this. I actually have this for Kane. It's Spear and Dragoon. Usually very fine because, you generally can find like plus earth equipment that is a fist, and he is using monk abilities. So yeah, that's just bonus damage if you're using a fist.
one of Yang's natural legend materials is a 35% chance to double cast Monk, so this makes perfect sense for him since he's already getting like the earth boosting stuff on all of his other relics, and then the 20% boost off of this.
Also, I appreciate that you usually get these characters' guys' equipment, which is usually just their outfit. Yang's is just pants.
Yeah.
He don't wear a shirt. Yeah, like
Those are just his pants.
and hey, here's my favorite kind of relic materia. Wish this wasn't on a relic out of 10.
Yeah, you generally like to see double cast legend materias just naturally be on characters instead of coming from relics.
Yeah, but still, it's very good if you can get it. Just double cast Monk is perfectly fine. And
25% chance instead of 35%. Legend material relics are usually scaled a bit down compared to their counterparts on dives.
Right. All in all, completely solid Earth banner with a smattering of lightning and holy on it. And I don't think there's one thing on this banner that I actually dislike.
Yeah, it's fine. For the folks who are just starting out, just get this one out of the way. Kingdom Hearts collaboration event is coming in 2 weeks, so you might want to save enough mithril for a pull or two on that. But otherwise, there's usually not any really bad banners anymore. They're usually a good smattering of relics and just about anything.
Yep, it's generally, what you want.
Yeah.
Also, as Furry Tractor is saying in the chat, there are these things called realm banners. I'll peep those off real fast. Man, my phrasing has just been really weird.
Now peep these banners.
Now peep this banner.
Now watch this drive.
So here they are, the realm relic draws. They're 15 mithril for an 11 draw. All items are only that. They are burst soul breaks or better, which is a fantastic set to pull from. The one thing I will say, these aren't going away. They'll always be there for like 4 months, and then I think they refresh them and add items into them.
Yeah.
So go at it slow. Don't blow all your mithril. A lot of people were like, I spent all my mithril on the realm banner, and now I don't have anything for stuff coming up. And it's like, yeah, go at it slow. That's why I've been doing like 1 a week.
Yeah, it's usually just like, you want some quick coverage for a cheap amount of mithril, then there you go.
Yeah. All right. Second banner. Second banners are usually older items that are coming back.
Recurring stuff. Just,
Yes.
best ofs from stuff that you missed before.
So, here's Kane. It's lightning damage. One thing that's actually pretty cool about this is that it is jump typed. And that's about the most I can say about it. Outside of
Jump type means that it synergizes with a lot of his other stuff, because some of his stuff is just like, you can do cool shit with jump attacks. Like, one of his ultras says that you can instantly cast jump attacks. This is a jump attack.
Well, yeah, which works with this. It's whack. Mithril Whipblade. This is Rydia's USB. 10 summon magic water, non-elemental to 1 target, temporarily infused with the power of water, increase magic and defense 30%, cause the user's water abilities to trigger the follow-up Tidal Flood, dealing 5 summon magic water, non-elemental to 1 target, and restore 2 ability uses to 1 ability after the USB mode ends.
Yeah, like, summoners usually get this type of stuff nowadays, where they restore some of their summon uses, just because summons are capped at 6 uses if you max them out. And you usually see what are known as chasers a lot. So when you see the follow-up ability Tidal Flood, 5 summon attacks to 1 target after using water abilities, that just means like you cast a water ability, this comes out immediately afterwards.
Yeah, people are asking who are the water mages, and they say Rydia, Onion Knight, Vivi. They mentioned Strago. The Mimic Boys are as well. A big thing to note: do not sleep on Strago. Strago is the first water mage to get an awakening.
Strago is really good. Also, he has one of his passives. His legend materia is a 35% chance to just heal the entire party for 30% of their health when he gets hit, when he just takes damage.
Strago is actually pretty real. Alright, Demon Slayer. It is Dark Knight Cecil's
Dark boosting sword.
Dark Boosting Sword. That is his arcane. It's good.
Yeah, it is. Dark Knight Cecil used to be bad for a while, and then he just got a bunch of relics that made him really good. That's one of the other
this
strong
one.
suits. Yeah, this one is really powerful.
Yeah, this one is insane and works so good with the dark stuff. 10 physical dark, non-elemental, in dark. Damage the user for 99% of their current HP, and grant the user a negate damage, so Stone Skin, for 100% of their max HP. The first time negate damage is actually coming up. What it is you get a barrier around you, and it acts for a certain amount of HP. You can't really tell how much, but for that amount of HP, if you get hit, it does 0 damage to you. And then he enters Red Wings EX mode. While he's in this, attack is increased 30%, and as long as he has a negate damage barrier up, reduces delay of darkness abilities, and they trigger twice. Not even a Hungry Cast, they just attack twice.
Yeah. This is a triple casting speed, by the way.
Yeah, very, very fast.
As long as you keep the bubble up.
This is completely crazy for him because, again, for people who aren't aware, there are dark abilities that allow you to drain from your enemy. So the thought process for this is you cast this, you get the Stone Skin, use those drain abilities to get all that health back, and then by the time your Stone Skin is down, you can recast the ability again and get that right back up. And Dark Knight Cecil is real with this.
It's real stupid. One of the things too is that physical darkness often has abilities that have lots of HP control. They can either absorb HP from enemies or sacrifice a ton of their own HP in order to deal more damage to an enemy. And so with the Stone Skin up, the bubble, Dark Knight Cecil doesn't really have to care about his health much at all. As long as you can keep that bubble going, he's safe.
Dark Knight Cecil dives to 40% chance to restore HP to the user for 40% of the damage done by single target dark abilities.
Yeah, like facilitates his soul break. So this is what I was talking about when you have bad characters that just end up becoming amazing because they got some better relics. Dark Knight Cecil is a comeback that you are not going to forget for quite some time.
Always one of those slightly unfortunate things of, hey, how's Dark Knight Cecil? Well, he's really good if you pull his USB.
Yeah, that's the other thing too. Character, relic gotchas. I tend to like this sort of thing because it just means that, well, you can fix it with equipment and the base, but you still have to fix it with equipment.
And yeah, that's just how some characters roll. It's unfortunate, but still, hey, it's better than just the character being garbage.
Yeah, and it's not like you're having multiple incarnations of the same character that just count as different characters. You're not getting Santa Tifa that's only limited time on this one banner for 5 days or some shit.
Yeah, that's actually one thing that I will always say. Outside of the Kingdom Hearts stuff, there are no limited banners in Record Keeper. It's very nice. Once something is on a banner, it's just in the pool and will always come back at some point or another. Well, it will either come back at some point or another or will be replaced with something else.
And it's just Kingdom Hearts can't really be held because, Disney.
That's Disney. If Disney would let up a little bit, I'm sure they would add that stuff to the pool. Oh, yeah, remember Rubicante? Is Rubicante good yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
He'll get good in a little bit.
Damn. Alright, Thunderstorm. It's good. 10 magic, lightning, ice to one enemy. Infuse its power of lightning, raise magic and resistance 30%, and cause 5 magic abilities to double cast using 2 ability casts. It's good.
Palom is often compared to Vivi because Vivi gets his trance. One of his legend materia is a trance that, as you saw, gives him a 50% chance to double cast black magic and also buffs his magic, and that stacks on his already double casting Ultra for a 50% chance to triple cast. Palom also has a chance to triple cast because his dive gives him a legend materia that gives him a 35% chance to double cast black, just naturally. So his is a different sort of take on it, but they can both triple cast on basically any element black magic hits.
Excuse me. Yeah, it's just really solid. Moving on to the next. Oh, Benediction. Good.
Benediction's still good. Rose is a good body for it.
Instant AoE heal to the party, also known as Medica, a 2k stock HP, and Magic Blink, enabling the party to avoid one magic attack, effective for most spells.
Big asterisks.
Yeah, just outrageously solid. But yeah, as chat points out, very good for the Torment. Very good for other things, like, I don't know, Hades. I'm going to use her for Hades, to clear Hades. She's very good for Hades.
Yeah, probably. One of the other things that makes this so good is that Rosa has access to the 4-star support skill called Wrath, which just boosts your soul break meter a whole bunch. So it's a way for her to just stockpile castings of this and use when needed.
Yeah, it lets you charge a bit of meter for free. Oh, jeez. It keeps going.
Burst, huh?
Gaia Hammer. Physical, lightning, non-elemental. Attacks to 8 random targets. Temporarily inflict attack, magic, defense, resistance, down, or full breakdown. And grant haste in burst mode. Command 1 is a 2-hit lightning with a magic break. Command 2 is a 2-hit lightning with a defense break.
You see this format a lot for supporty characters that like to debuff on bursts, strictly because debuffs have gotten a lot more valuable recently, especially in Torments and high-end content. They have reduced the amount of resistance that bosses have to debuffs that let, stacking all of this shit be real as hell. And the elemental damage contributes to chains, so this is a no-brainer. You're just doing this stuff a whole bunch, and it's doing nothing but helping. Also, the other reason why they generally have put out these sort of version 2.0 of support bursts is because of the torments. They're weak to all elements, so it lets them get a little bit of extra damage in. Yeah. Also, some bosses have buffs that they cast on themselves, and you use these general purpose debuffs in order to cancel them. Does Kalka cast a magic buff? I think it does, right? Maybe. I mean, Lighting Hammer will take care of that right away. Yeah. Sage's Sagacity. Sagacity. I don't know if Google's going to help you with that one. Temporarily raise magic fall allies a moderate amount. Grant haste. Reduce the offensive magic casting time for 3 turns. And enter burst mode. Very good for magic teams. Command he's 1 really good at supporting those. Command 1 is 4 magic earth. Deals more damage the higher. So this is a weird way of wording this. The higher your magic is, the higher the potency is. Mm-hmm. Command 2 is 2 hits with what we like to call a magic defense bargain, which means you increase your offensive stat for lowering your defense stat. Yeah, and this buff will stack with others, so yeah. Sage's Sagacity is a very excellent mage buffing suite. Tell is very good at supporting mage teams, like I said before, but he is an earth mage at heart because his theme is having meteor and dying a bunch. So he'll be good for lightning. What's the potency on can check Sage's secrets? The main thing is, does it get better than Quake? The Chain Quake. It's all right. I'm not terribly picky on burst commands anymore. That's the thing for our other viewers. Burst commands typically have a lower potency than abilities, so that you want to actually use abilities that you hone instead of the burst commands. Yeah, there was a big rework about a year ago where they just made all the abilities in the game just better, from 5-star on and even some 4 stars. Some burst abilities still are ahead of the pack, but that's just the way it was built at the time. Also, burst abilities do have the benefit of being infinite use and used for long, sustainable fights. So what I'll say is, Command 2 here is good for a nice little buff, and Command 1 is good once you're out of ability hones. That's about it. Yep. Nowadays, the burst entrance
Like, bursts are what is the entrance, or for healers. Healers still like it because, again, unlimited abilities, and it's the only way to get medicas outside of percentile chances.
Also, as an extra defense for burst commands, chains typically increase the multipliers of everything, so if you're capping really quickly, then burst commands would just, like, you know, multipliers are fake as hell.
Evil Force here, which is Dark Knight Cecil's Glint, is instantly grant the user a barrier that negates damage 100% of their max HP, and grant them a 30% darkness ability boost. Very good, the combo with the USB.
Yeah, it's very obviously made to combo with the USB. It's just like, oh shit, I'm taking a bit too much damage. And done. Gonna patch that right up.
The thing, though, is, I believe, with those, like, Crimson and Sanguine Cross, if you have a Stone Skin up, it will eat the Stone Skin first, so this does combo into those without needing the USB.
I believe it does not. Let's see what chat has to say about that. Yeah, it will not.
Okay, it will not. But hey, guess what? You still have that banner up, or barrier up. So, does combo well with those. I still stand by that.
Notice how it says temporarily up to a moderate darkness ability boost. That's called a rank boost. You hone up abilities. That increases the number of uses they have with each level. It doesn't doesn't do anything to their damage, just the amount of times you can use them. And what it's saying is you get up to a 30% boost on darkness abilities if the ability you're using is at rank 5.
Yes. Moving on. Weak no more. Well, about that Kane. Begin the battle. I love Kane, but God, he's such a dumbass. Begin the battle temporarily infused with the power of lightning. Just solid.
Yeah, it's fine.
Pristine Spirit is Rydia's. Begin the battle temporarily infused with water. Again, solid.
Good. Rydia specializes in earth and water summoning.
Hey, what do you know? Begin the battle temporarily infused with the power of dark.
Nice. Hey, what do you know? Temporarily infuse the power of lightning.
I mean, yeah.
It's crazy how we just get, like, all of these legend materials that are exactly the same, and we get the final one that's actually different.
Yes. So, this is what we call trance modes, mainly because of the original trance LMRs, or LMs. There's no R there. When low on HP, grant Last Stand to the user and temporarily lower their defense a small amount and raise their attack a moderate amount. That's 30% each. Record Keeper's a little weird with its terminology. Can trigger only once per battle. So, go back up to full. No, wait. Do not go back up to full. Just get Last Stand. And an attack defense bargain. A little weird. A little hard to survive off that. But if you got Dread Weapon on you, as you said, you can try and get yourself back up real fast.
Yeah, the terminology that Record Keeper uses for like actual in-game explanations is a big reason why I try to clarify temporarily reduce the delay of the user's actions, because that does not distinguish between doubling the user's casting speed or tripling it. That's a very big...
Slyo points out a more interesting tactic here is to trigger this instantly with the bubble USB.
Ah, yes. That's another good synergy right there.
So, all in all, it's a really solid banner. The sixes are really good. The bursts are whatever, but welcome to Burst Town at this point in the game. The Glint's great, and so are the LMRs. Yeah.
A lot of the utility that you see from most characters in the game are going to come from Ultra Soul Breaks or higher at this point. And you're going to see bursts. Like, you can still find lots of bursts in the Acolyte Archives, which, you know, you're a new player, you do missions that the game provides for you, and you're able to pull on special banners that give you a choice of specific curated relics that have bursts on them. Bursts are very helpful for you starting out.
Sorry. Yeah. I think all in all, this banner, it's worth pointing out that it's very good for lightning. Actually, it's kind of all over the place. It's got lightning, it's got dark, it's got thunder. It's got Earth.
Yeah, this is just basically like, hey, did you miss Dark Knight, Cecil, and Palom last time? Well, here they are.
Well, Paladin's not even on this. Paladin's on Banner 1. This is all Dark Knight, baby.
Yeah, it said Palom.
Oh, Palom. I heard Paladin. Oops.
Yeah, I would... No, it's fine, it's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, Lightning and Thunder. Both of those. Man, what if they introduced Thunder element and it was non-elemental?
Man, I would really kill for non-elemental to be a thing, but I think it's dead now.
Anyway, yeah, it's a good banner. Again, as with most of the ones that we point out at this time, its big problem is it got announced at the same time as Kingdom Hearts. And
yeah, Kingdom
also,
Hearts and...
Awakenings are right around the corner at the end of March.
That's the big problem, too. Like, when you get close to either what is known as a fest or really powerful shit like Kingdom Hearts, then we start saying, like, it's a good banner, but...
Anyway.
The Socklet.
I think I'm actually not going to pull. We're way too close to Kingdom Hearts, and I gotta make sure I got enough Mithril to do my my full run on the festival banners.
Understood.
Generally, I've been pulling on the realm draws. Actually, there's people here though. Oh,
there are
right.
approximately 50 people here, so
We
yeah.
should probably do the wind banner. Shouldn't we?
Unfortunately, oh yes, we should probably, just as a discussion thing.
Let me see if I've done 4. Well, let's talk about that wind banner first. Got to keep people around.
That wind banner is definitely worth talking about.
Mm-hmm.
First off, let me make sure that. Okay, good. They got rid of that thing.
Yeah, so there was a misprint on this when it first launched, saying that if you did a 3 pull, so only pulling 3 relics instead of the usual 11, you were guaranteed 1 5-star or better.
That was a bobo. They fucked up big time with that one.
They fucked up real bad.
Yeah.
Alright, first up is Onion Knight Arcane. It is a wind, water, fire, earth. Arcane hits 3 times for big damage across 4 elements.
Yeah, Onion Knight is a buffer that has moved into being just a generalist in black magic.
Generally deals in the crystal elements, as we like to call them.
Yeah, the traditional wind, water, fire, earth. Mm-hmm. Also, this is a water boosting armor.
Yes. Up next is Lunith's Arcane. Finally, one of these. As I said before, you can have one of these that is 20 hits with 1 big one at the end. These are very good for chains because they'll add an extra 20% onto that final hit and then everybody else's damage.
Yeah, it's primarily used for boosting up chains when you get to the start of one, just to give you an edge.
Or hitting at the end so that all those 20 hits do a lot of damage.
Yeah, like plenty of different ways that you can approach it.
Speaking of which, carbon copy right here, except he has a wind boosting sword. I don't think, Lunith wasn't wind boosting.
One thing that you're going to find out about Cloud on your travels through this game, they kind of don't really know what to do with Cloud sometimes.
They really fucked up because they gave him one of the most broken USBs in the game, also like one of the first USBs in the game. So now they don't know how to bounce him anymore and they're scared.
Mm-hmm.
I have seen people do, 1 million damage with his USB. And this, it's dumb. He's real dumb. I can't pronounce the name of this weapon, but it's Alphanod's USB. 10 summon magic wind. Grant all allies a barrier that reflects a portion of damage back to the attacker as wind damage, and reduce the delay the user's action for 2 turns. Enter brave mode.
Fast.
So. Barriers are just, it's thorns. You get hit, you reflect it back. Sometimes it's type damage, and that actually respects chains, so that can be really useful.
Yeah, like elemental shields are all the rage nowadays, with chains specifically, because every hit racks up another notch on the chain. So the amount that you are reflecting back to the enemy gets bigger and bigger as the chain increases.
Yes. Fuck, we didn't even talk about the USB aspect of this. So he, based on wind abilities, when released, will do at top will do 12 magic, summon wind, and restore 1 summoning ability.
Oh, I think we didn't mention one thing about these Brave format ultras. You start off at level 2, I believe.
Okay, so I was trying to figure out the wording here, and I got it. So at 2, it just restores 1 of them. At 3, it will actually restore both of your moves if they're both summoning abilities, I think.
Yeah, I think that's how it's worded.
Yeah. So, good. It's really solid. Again, multi-hits like this 12 hit can help to build up chains, and it even deals 10 on the intro. So, really, this whole format of this USB is clearly made for building chains, if you add in the barrier.
Like, Alphinaud is a summoner at heart, but he can also use black magic, and this thankfully caters to both.
A wind-boosting spear. Howling Vortex is 10 physical wind, non-elemental, in wind. Temporarily cause the user's wind abilities to heal the user a small portion of damage dealt, and cause wind abilities to trigger a follow-up Gale Spear, which is 6 hits to 1 target.
Wind drain is 10%, yeah. This one is kind of a callback to the kit that he had in the DS version of the game, where, you know, in Bravely Default style, Dark Knight and Spellblade are just busted as all hell, so you just give them Drain Blade and go to town. So it's kind of a callback to that.
Yeah. It's neat. It'll keep them alive, and it'll deal, again, really good damage. Barbariccia.
Wind boosting spears are also not that common, so yeah, good to have.
Small boosting wind damage on a dagger that is magic casting. A lot of people actually like this. Deal 10 magic wind, now elemental, in wind, raise magic and resistance 30%, and cause wind abilities to trigger a follow-up fair wind, dealing 5 magic wind to 1 target. So again, just a really solid, really generic USB, which, you know, that's not a bad thing. I'm just saying it's run-of-the-mill, very easy to understand. It's going to up your damage. It is, you're intended to use wind abilities, and it has a follow-up, and she is a double caster on dive.
Yeah, double caster on dive. She's very popular just because wind mages are still not very common. Alphinaud and her and Ultimecia and Fujin from Final Fantasy VIII.
Yes. Howling Winds, which is 6 damage, and Empowered Infusion. Just solid.
Yeah. This is the same format that you saw in Yang, so same
hat.
Oh, right. Because instead of tripling the user's casting speed for 2 turns, you just get the instant 6 hits, so you're not losing tempo on your damage. Same thing for Cloud. Yeah,
Cloud has the same thing. Maelstrom, BSB. 8 magic wind, imperil or lower, so for each level of resistance that you lower an enemy by, you deal 10% more damage. So this, I will sometimes say imperil, because that's the old terminology, but lowers their wind resistance by 2, so dealing 20% more damage, and enter burst mode. Command 1 is a 4 hits with reduced casting time for 2 turns. Command 2 is 2 hits with a mag defense bargain.
Barbaricia's burst is still the only magical wind imperil in the game.
And those commands are okay.
Server's fucking up again.
I'm hearing you fine, so that might be on your end.
Okay. Whack.
I can change it real fast, though.
Yeah. I'm going to take care of on my end. Anyway, we're at Legend Materia, so...
There we go. Okay.
Onion Helm is 20% more damage with black magic abilities when a rod is equipped. This is very good for Onion Knight's generalist thing that he's got going on, because his dive gives him a legend materia that double casts black magic, 35% chance to double cast black. So this is a good fit for him.
Yeah, mattering on what you want to do with him, because honestly, like, yeah, he does have the instant cast 2 on his LMR 1, but if I'm, say, doing the 3 Torment or something like that, I would... A moment. I would much rather have this if I'm going pure DPS, mainly because that will work more in the long run.
Yeah, he has 2 Legend Materia relics right now. One of them is for his buffing suite, because he's also a buff boy at heart, and this one is more for his DPS slant.
Exactly. Moving on, Orphan of Ur, in wind, solid.
Good.
Truth Surmount, in wind. Oh wait, no, actually small chance for wind abilities to trigger twice.
This one is actually important because it's like we said, Dana tries their hardest to dance around Cloud because they're scared of his first Ultra.
Also,
and this
oops, we fucked up with his dive. We're trying to fix it. Please do not pay attention.
Yeah, his dive is double cast combat, and combat is...
dead.
Yeah.
Begin the battle temporarily infused with wind. Fine for Alphanod. And begin the battle infused with wind. Fine for Barbarizia.
Yeah.
All in all, it's a wind banner.
Solid.
It's solid. If you need a wind boost, it's probably the best one to draw on. I actually don't think I have that many on this, but I'm going to pull on that Realm banner in about 5 seconds here, so...
It's also nifty because the 1 burst on there is also really good.
Yeah, this will still be up after Kingdom Hearts drops. This is around till the 28th, so you have time to think on it. Okay. Let's hustle, because I actually got something I need to do in a little bit.
Is it time to destroy value?
Mayhaps.
You know, also for the folks that have still stuck around after getting hosted over from Doc's stream, thank you very much for sticking around this entire time. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's really rad. I really like showing... This game has problems, but I still like showing it off to new people. Anywho.
Yeah, it's also why we just went into tutorial mode all of a sudden. It's just like, well, we got new people, might as well make the most of it.
Yep, here we go. Ha! Oh, by the way, I lean back and close my eyes after I do a draw.
Yeah, no peeking.
I don't look. I'm not a
also,
coward.
I'm watching his stream, so I'm behind by several seconds. Oh, 1 second, Furry Tractor. Yeah. That's okay, Furry Tractor. We know how enthusiastic you get.
Wow, spoilers. Oh, that's okay, I guess.
Yeah, that's fine. Never said how many.
I think one of those is a dupe.
That looks like Porum's USB.
Well, we'll find out in a moment once it loads. That is extremely Porum's USB.
Hell yeah.
And then 2 Overstrikes.
One of them, Rydia. That's kind of really helpful for...
I had it already.
Or some shit. Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Well,
this is very good for the Torment, though.
Yeah, it'll definitely help a whole bunch.
Kinda hard to say who to take to the Torment now for me.
Mostly because re-raise actually is very helpful in the Torment, because you don't have to reapply wall. That's kind of the caveat with dying in this game. You lose all your buffs.
Yeah, actually, Slio brings up a good point. Why not both?
I'm inclined to agree. Torments hit like trucks.
And also Rosa can debuff, but Edge was Edge. Edward was my... that's something I'll have to think about.
Forum, double cast on dive. Yes.
Well done.
Maybe bring her as a holy caster.
Oh. Ah. Yeah, see, there we go. That was a dupe.
Well, dang. I mean,
By
I'm
the
not
way,
wrong.
I get to
Really
show off
helps a lot.
what you do with dupes. That's right, baby. You make them bigger.
By the way, for newer players, you should never combine stuff unless you know that you're not getting much more value out of having them separated.
Yes,
Elements boosting specifically.
I've been around long enough that I can do that, but like even me, I have 2 of these swords right here because they're ice boosting swords. I have 2 of these spears because they're wind boosting spears, and we've talked about how rare that is.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe keep
It very
something
much
separate.
depends on your loadout.
I have this boomerang here because fucking, for some reason, this game cursed me with goddamn hope. Anywho.
Hey, you're speaking to an avowed Hope liker. Hope liker in the sense that I have is Ultra, and that's hot shit.
I didn't see what you said about the torment thing, but I'm gonna do an outro for this YouTube video right here. Hey, YouTube. It's rad that you stuck around. Good shit. I'll see you next video.
Good night.